What's up, y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Court in Wonderland 617. How y'all doing? So, I'm actually dead ass tired. I'm also hungry, but I just keep feeling a nudge to do this video, and sometimes my best content comes in just following the nudge, because not only is it a message for me, it could be a message for somebody else. So I just go with what my intuition tells me and I follow through with it. I'm gonna call this the beauty in breaking. The reason I'm calling this the beauty in breaking is because there is one similar trait when it comes down to people who have overcome the odds, and that is resiliency. You cannot, damn, my glasses is dirty like a motherfucker. You cannot teach resiliency. You cannot teach how to hustle. You can't teach ambition. Those things come from hardships, experiences, and even lack. When there are people who seem emotionless and numb, and I'm going to include myself in that population, when traumatic shit occurs or like hard circumstances are in front of people, and sometimes these people seem like very cool or aloof or emotionless, it's not that we don't feel nothing. It's just that life has shown us time and time and time again that, number one, shit happens. Number two, always expect unexpected changes. And number three, don't always over invest your heart into situations or even people, because when you do that, you're allowing them to hurt you. And when you have been hurt so much, it's just like you become numb to it. And what I have learned is that there are people who have everything. And when I say everything, I'm talking materialistically, financially. But emotionally, they are bankrupts. I'll give an even deeper example. You can have a favorite artist, favorite actor, favorite whatever, you fill in the blank, and they can do well for themselves in the area of their expertise, right? But when you encounter them, it's like nothing makes them happy. And the truth of the matter is, there's a void that still needs to be filled. And they realize, despite the accolades, despite the awards, despite the success they may have in whatever area it is, that there's still a significant lack. So even though this person could honestly and truly and genuinely inspire you to do whatever it is of your expertise, whatever area you're gifted in, sometimes those people can't even be receptive to the praise that they get for their gift. Why? Because of the significant lack in their life. whatever that may be. And the truth of the matter is, you can buy a lot of shit, but you can't buy peace. You can buy a lot of shit and you can't buy genuine love. You can't buy healing. And it's not to sound like a broken record from my previous videos, but with me, when I tell people I'm numb to a lot of shit, I'm numb to a lot of shit. It's to the point where it feels like borderline my heart is not pumping blood. It's pumping blood in Novocaine. Because I don't feel nothing. And if I do now, I notice that I cry for a little bit and then I pick myself back up. Because the funny thing is that people don't want their heart to break. And this is not a sad, woe is me type of video. But some people don't really see the beauty in breaking. Sometimes in life, we want to carry our burdens on our shoulders. Like, we could look like $1 million when we step out the house. We can look like we have shit together. And what people don't see is the burdens that's on you. They don't see the heaviness that you're carrying. Only you know the heaviness that you're carrying. And, you know, it's so easy, and especially in the Black community, because I was talking to one of my friends about it. And it's like having the idea that you have to be the strong Black woman, the strong Black man. And the funny thing is that Black people feeling like we have to be strong all the time is what's fucking killing us. So we have anger that we repress. We have anxiety from the past and obvious triggers, especially racial triggers. We're dealing with the stressors of life. And because we're too busy trying to have the appearance of being strong, we're dealing with issues with obesity. We're dealing with mental health disorders. We're dealing with instability. Why? Because we feel like we gotta repress our emotions about what we feel because we have to appear strong for the outside world. And the funny thing, and I used to think that way too, the funny thing is that when you let yourself feel the shit for what it is, right? If you're angry and you feel like you can't outwardly express that you're angry, what I have learned is, even though I might not be able to due to whatever situation it may be, hypothetically, I'm still going to be angry, but I'll find a way to channel my anger. If I'm sad or feel broken about something, I don't have to go and cry to every single person about what happened and how sad I am. Because now I have learned, even in that, not everybody is your friend and not everybody is there to counsel you either. Some people give you the shoulder to lean on, but at the same time they're also leaning in their ear to catch every shit that you're saying and spread your shit as if it's gossip. Again, some people need to be cautious and be careful about the company y'all keep. I had to learn that I am entitled and I can feel and I will feel the emotions that I have, but I'm gonna channel it in a different way. And if I'm anxious about something, instead of it lingering in my mind, to either pray, meditate, whatever it is, to ease my mind off of it. Like, the funny thing is that people are more focused about what I look on the outside as opposed to what's going on in my mind and my heart. And there is actual balance. It doesn't mean there's perfection. It means there's balance. Even in regards of love, some people are like, well, I've been in a relationship or I've been in this situation for such and such years and I need such and such amount of time to do some healing. Let me tell you what healing is. There's no time stamp on healing. What healing is, in whatever your situation is not only are you looking at it, not only are you acknowledging it, you are making the conscious decision to look in whatever that is that has caused you pain and confronting it. Doing the deep, ugly inner work of actually looking at how were you responsible? What part did you play in your own pain? And doing that work, and also now seeing what lesson have I learned from this? Because there's a lesson to learn in all of our pain and all of the sad moments of our life, whether they're extravagant or hell, shit, you fucking lost your job that day. There is a lesson to be learned in everything. From failed marriages, failed relationships, failed family connections, failed friendships, failed businesses. There's lessons to always be learned. And it's like once you can do that healing, and sometimes it's not even just healing for one main event, it could be healing from childhood shit. It could be healing from traumatic events that you might not have put two and two together, but you know, like when you get into a certain situation, all of a sudden you feel this anxiety. And it's coming to terms with that. And not swallowing or not wallowing in that pain any longer. And instead of focusing on what happened, who didn't do what, who did what, it no longer matters. Instead of focusing on what happened, let's focus on the story of how you picked yourself up after that. And learning to love yourself. Okay, I spent so much time in a marriage where this person did not love me. And I gave so much of myself to a relationship, to a person who did not love me. And I allowed myself to enter into betrayal after betrayal after betrayal because I thought this person would love me. Instead of boo-hoo crying, woe is me, and then jumping into another situation, but I'm just jumping into the shit just to do it because, you know, the funny thing is that there's this K. Michelle song, Love 'Em All, where she's like, just to get over one, I gotta get another one. And we're all guilty of doing that shit, whether it's emotionally or it's just to get, you know, the physical leg job. Shit. Can we be 100 about it? But it's also allowing yourself the time and the opportunity. Like, you know what? Why do I feel like I gotta rush into a situation so quickly? Why do I feel like I need somebody? Or even in regards of a relationship, I may like somebody, but I'm afraid to go there with this person because I'm afraid they're going to hurt me. This is where communication comes in. This is where what is not communicated is what does your intuition say. Because if your intuition is telling you, man, you might need to let this person go. Well, you know, I like him a lot, and he's fine as shit. And if your intuition is saying, nah, sis, this is a no-go. This is not for you. Yes, the conversation looked good. Yes, the packaging may be right, but in your gut of guts, you know something is wrong, you need to pay attention to that shit. Ask questions. And what feels right to you, go ahead and move forward with it. And what don't feel right to you, then you know you need to learn and live and learn and let the shit go. There's beauty in breaking if you allow yourself to break. And sometimes that's going to include tears. Sometimes that's going to include sleepless nights. Sometimes that's going to include either overeating or undereating. But what I have learned for me is that in the process of it, in the thick of it, not only am I going to allow myself to channel my emotions into things that's going to make me better, I'm going to do some shit that's even better than that. I'm going to channel my heartbreak. I'm going to channel my pain. I'm going to channel whatever it is that I'm in the thick of. And I'm going to fuel it into whatever passion I have. For me, my passion is music. For me, my passion is writing. For me, my passion is talking my shit on this when I feel like I got some actual shit to talk. And helping somebody. And use that to build myself. Alchemy. But that's only if you allow yourself to break. And the funny thing is that once I got out of a church, some people's not gonna like what I have to say, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Once I got myself out of a church and out of the what was taught about church, and got to know God for myself. Now the word says what it says. You're still supposed to still connect and be within a body of believers. True. But it's more important to have that relationship with God yourself. Because as long as you are on this earth, as long as you are breathing, as long as you are still living, even in the church, you still got people who's dealing with shit despite looking like a fucking sinner. You still got people who's dealing with shit despite looking like a fucking saint. And I'm sorry, I'd rather be the person that speaks and says I'm a sinner, and you can tell that I'm a sinner, but the funny thing is that God knows my heart, so therefore I don't have to convince you of anything. Because I know Him for myself. And because of previous pain, previous heartbreak, previous betrayals, and because I did the work, I did my work of allowing myself to sit and feel and dig and explore and address my pain. That when I look back at my past, I'm not looking back at my past with weepiness. I'm not looking at my past as sadness. I'm looking at my past as if, okay, this was a chapter and a period of my life that I did not like. This was a period and point in my life where, it damn near broke me. But you know what? What don't kill me can only help build me. I guess all that dirt made me more filthy, right? That's the attitude I have. And because I know how that pain feels, and because as long as you got life and breath in your body, understand there will always be more hurts and always be more pains than the last. But guess what? I have learned how to deal with it. There is beauty in breaking. So when I tell people I'm a tough woman, I don't go into long spiels. I have learned to keep my fucking mouth shut about what I'm going through, because I have learned that not everybody is there to be a helping hand. I have learned that not everybody is there to lift you up. Some people want some shit to go back and gossip about. It's human nature. People gonna love you, people gonna hate you. Either they're gonna talk good things about you or they're gonna talk shit about you. It's life. But I have learned this power, not number one, in my silence. And number two, the most powerful thing I can do is have a manage of my emotions. And the last powerful thing I can do is turn my pain, turn my sadness, turn my frustration, turn whatever it is that I'm dealing with, and make that situation, that pain, whatever that is, that frustration, that lack, whatever it is, to turn that into my bitch and make it work for me. So when I tell people, and it's funny, but it's true, that I am healed, I took the time in addressing my shit. It doesn't need to be a long period of time. It's about how intense do you want to move forward in your own healing. Like, I had to have like a really honest conversation within myself. And I had to ask myself, am I ready to love? And the funny thing is that I am. I have learned now that whoever I choose to love, or whoever I choose to move forward in a relationship with, I have learned because of what I give and how precious and how valuable my love is. Like, my love is like fucking gold. But I had learned throughout that heartbreak that it now has to be earned. See, you can't give somebody a pure gold heart on a platter, and they're not even in a position of royalty within themselves or value with themselves to see, you know what? This is what I can bring to her, and this is what she's bringing to me. I can receive it and I can accept it. If you're used to trash, and if you're used to receiving trash, when you receive something like this, you don't even know how to take care of it because you've been used to having trash. So you can have real gold in front of you, but guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna treat it like trash, right? Exactly. So I'm learning that what I have and what I can bring in its purest and truest form is so valuable that, yeah, you're gonna have to earn it. That if you have my attention, and mind you, a lot of these men out here is not even catching my attention. As much attention as I get, I don't give even a third of that. So it's like, if you have my attention, as I stated before, I'm not going to lace up my Nikes, and I'm not going to be running down trying to chase you down. A man knows what he wants. Now, he might be fucking confused about what his ass wants, but a man nevertheless know what he wants. Now, it might not be right away. It might not be in a month or 2 or 3. This is where your intuition and your inner knowing has to tell you, is this connection really worth it or not? But a man, when he is good and ready, knows what he wants. So why do I have to chase you? I love me. Like, I got so many plans for myself, for my, and the funny thing is, yes, Valentine's Day is a man-made holiday, and it's so corny and it's so cheesy, but I love it. I just love the idea of love. Now, when it comes down to fucking love itself, that's a whole fucking different story. Like, I take that bitch very seriously now. But I really, truly love me genuinely and truly. That whether you're with me or not, whether you're doing what you're doing or not, it doesn't affect me because I'm too busy caring and loving on myself and my child, that what you do doesn't affect me. Now, it doesn't take away the fact that I could be jealous, especially if I like you. But what is my jealousy gonna serve? I have more important shit to do than twiddle my thumbs and wait for you to call. I can be reading a book. I can be coloring. I can be painting. I could be taking a nap. And that's just outside of everyday responsibilities and shit. There's shit I can be actively doing for myself that's not going to require you. It's important for me to love on me. Why do I have to convince you to love me? That shit's crazy. So, I just want to make this really quick video about, because, you know, and it's just like, everybody I know, we're all going through something. You can't avoid pain. You can't escape it. But what I have learned is that the love I have for myself and how I value myself, like, the funny thing is that the way I didn't look at myself and the way I didn't value myself in my relationship, I value myself so much more as a single person. Like, I'm cool. Now, I can love you but I could love you to a depth that you probably haven't even experienced before. But the thing is this connection going to be good for me? If I can give you this, can you give it back? And if so, besides obviously love and the feelings thereof, can we actually build some shit together? So because I know what I have and because I know what I bring, I can't give it to just everybody. That has to be earned. Sex is a different story. Sex is action. Sex is just an innate part of human nature. You want it, you want it. Period. But can you be mature enough to take away your emotions? Because the funny thing is that whether people want to talk about it or not, when you do have sex with somebody, there is a type of a level of emotion involved. But are you mature enough to sever your emotions based off of what it was? So, I'm cutting this video very short. I try to make it short. I don't know how successful I was in the shit, but just want to share that message. So, I hope it helps. But for those who may be struggling, for those who may be going through something, understand you do not owe anybody strength except your children or the image of being strong. Because of this lie, we have so many issues with mental health. And physical health is stressed. Yes, it should be. But I feel like mental health is now getting the attention that it has always been deserving of. And if you are overwhelmed by whatever the situation is, and because of COVID, like, things have intensified even more so, please get help. If you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, please find yourself someone you can actually trust to talk to. As corny as it may sound, like self-care and utilizing some self-care tips is probably going to be the best thing for you. You just have to find out what works for you. I don't recommend anything destructive, because destructive behaviors, destructive patterns is only going to lead to more destruction. But allow yourself, for whatever that shit is, feel that shit. If you're mad, be pissed the fuck off. If you're sad, cry about the shit. If you're anxious, tell yourself out loud. Have a conversation with yourself out loud about why the fuck are you anxious and what alternatives can you give yourself. Because at the end of the day, life is going to be life. People are going to be people. As long as you got life and breath in your body, shit is going to happen. And if you are in a relationship and it's like, damn, I'm not happy with this person, but I don't want to leave this person. I was in a 13-year relationship with somebody that I loved. Notice how I said I loved this person. With the stuff that happened, there was no way this person could have loved me. Because if this person loved them, then they would have been able to receive what I was giving. There comes a time in every person's life, you're either going to choose you or whatever that is. And if that person, place, or thing isn't serving you, and you only got yourself in this world, who are you going to choose? Love yourself, care for yourself, and pray. These are some trying times. These are some hard times. And it's like, you have to have faith in something. I know where my faith is. I can't tell people where to have their faith is or where to have their faith, but I know where mine is. Yeah. Just have faith. So I'm cutting this shit off. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.